All right. So, like I was saying, if your car is feeling understeery for whatever reason, go back to the arrow page. Don't adjust the front ride height because it's going to be all the way down anyways. All you can do to increase that front arrow variation, which is going to give you more front end grip, is increase the ride height in the rear. So
Okay.
keep increasing it until the car is dynamically the way you want it. It'll be
Mm-hmm.
fairly neutral, have a good amount of front end grip, but it's not going wide every corner coming out of the turns. So
Now,
You could
will that cause my rear to get loose easier too?
eventually, yeah,
Okay.
from the start it
I
shouldn't.
think I think I have a problem spinning my tires too much,
Yeah,
things
and
like that. So
this is something that heavily affects that. So if you find
yeah.
that you're oversteering too much, you got to reduce that front arrow variation percentage, bring it back down, and the way to do that is to lower your rear ride height.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That said, we're 13 minutes into waiting. I'm just gonna go ahead and start us off. Keep getting your tire pressures right and doing laps, getting used to the setup that you currently have. But welcome to what is the second lesson two of the setup workshop, courtesy of me, I guess. So to yet last time we talked about most important things to change, going to least important things to change, or most effective things to change. We're just going to carry on with that today. So once you guys get used to your setups, give it 3 or 4 laps, and then we'll bring it back to the pits and we'll move on to the next thing. I just realized I'm gonna have to
um
edit this, huh? Dang it.
you could also, instead of changing your ride height, go to mechanical grip and change one of the
Devin!
anti-roll bars.
Devin, we'll get there. Devin! One thing at a time.
Just saying. Ah, look at that beautiful Honda.
So pretty.
Sorry, the Toyota's prettier.
Oh, you're talking about the new one, aren't you?
Yeah.
It is so weird only having my main screen in front of me. Oh, the brakes don't work the same in this game.
No, sir.
On triples, does your menu for doing setups span all three?
No, just in the middle.
Okay.
Whoop!
That would be so weird to have it span three.
It would be very weird.
Household 6 is calling. I gotta go for a second.
Okay.
Finish my lap.
Yeah, when the timer gets to 36, let's all go back to the pits. 1 hour 36 remaining.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, whatever lap you're on, finish up, and we will get going. That. There we go. That's better.
What did you do this time?
Camouflage?
All right. Before I get going, was anybody in here today and not here last time?
Right.
Take that as a no. All right. So we went over 3 or 4 things last time. Quick summary. We talked about the arrow page, the importance of the front arrow variation. The higher this number is, again, the more aggressive the car is going to feel overall. More front end grip, less rear end grip, so you'll get a good turn in, but you may be spinning out, coming out of corners a lot, or something of the sort. This is entirely controlled by front ride height, and your rear wing. So whatever combination you want to use to get the front arrow variation that works best for you, do that. If you want a high wing setting, you're going to have to adjust it. If you change the ride height, you're going to have to adjust something to keep it at this percentage. That's very important. The next thing we talked about was electronics. We talked about both traction controls. TC2 is really just not to be used as you're getting used to learning how to set up a car. Telemetry maps and ECU map, don't worry about those either. ABS, again, 2 to 3 is fairly aggressive. If you're locking up a lot, 3 to 4, I wouldn't go any higher than 4 or intermediate to beginner. And traction control, advanced is 2 to 3, intermediate's 3 to 4, like where I'm at. Or sometimes a car just needs a little bit more and you need 5 or 6. I wouldn't really ever go over 6 unless maybe it's wet when you're on dries or something, but very, very niche use case. Alrighty, the next thing we talked about was brake bias. All brake bias does is it controls the rotation of the car going into a corner. It does nothing else. If you find that the car is oversteering under braking, turn this down. And by turn this down, I mean move this slider forward. Remember, this percentage here is representative of pressure applied to the front brakes. So if it's at 47%, 47% of the pressure's in the front, 53 is in the back. So the higher the number is, the more brakes, the more the front brakes are working. And I just realized the recording is not getting my mouse. I don't know how to do that, but this one here. So questions on what we've gone over so far? Cool. All right. The next thing I want to talk about really, really fast, and we're not even going to go out and do anything. John mentioned it, but brakes. There are 4 brake types. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You will only ever use 1 or 2. 3 and 4 do not serve enough benefit or purpose to be useful in really any scenario. Now, brakes 1 is the aggressive or sprint brake pad. It will last maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours if you're really nice to them. It will not last any longer than that. So if you got a long race, brakes 1 is not the brake for you. But for pretty much everything we do here so far, brakes 1 is just fine. Now, brakes 2, that is your general use brake pad. It will last upwards of 12 hours on a single pad before you need to replace them. If you're doing really, really long races, 16 hours, 24 hours, you will need to change use front brakes. But if it's anything less than that, you can set it at 2, and you'll never need to worry about it. The main difference between the two is you get a bit more bite out of brakes 1. It's a bit more aggressive. You will slow down slightly faster. Brakes 2, it's a marginal decrease in braking performance. It is not huge. If you forget to change it from 2 to 1, you're not going to be losing seconds off your time. It might be a couple tenths. So, questions on brake pads? And no, I will not go over what 3 and 4 are because they're not useful. If you want to light your brakes on fire, go to 4. That's all I'll say.
You want to inspect the wall for rivets. 4.
That too, 4, yeah. 4 will fail in about 10 minutes, so. Alrighty. That is all for this page. We can go into pit stop strategy a little later since we do have a pit stop in our next race, but we're not going to cover that right now. So, the next thing, of course, fuel. Now, all fuel does is add or subtract weight to your car. Your car will act differently between 120 liters and 17. It does make a difference. So if you're making a qualifying setup and you drop it to like 15 liters of fuel and you don't change anything else, you'll probably be just fine. However, your car will feel different. It'll feel lighter depending on where the gas tank is. It could change the dynamics of the vehicle, so you might need to make minor tweaks to adjust for it. But for everything we're doing right now, most races we have are around 55 to 60 liters. 5 liters is not going to change your time much. So if you just want to set it at 60, leave it alone. That's good race fuel practice levels. Questions on that? Cool. Alrighty, the next thing in terms of most important / effective changes you can make to a car will be changes to your anti-roll bars, front and back. So aero, as we said, is the main change in general dynamics of the vehicle. When you start working with your anti-roll bars, you are now making a big change, but it's only in one spot. So the front anti-roll bar will drastically change how much front end grip you have. The rear does the same for the rear. So what we're going to do is I want you to take your front anti-roll bar, whatever it is set at, and I want you to just turn it off. Just go down to 0. It's still there, but it is very, very soft. Now, what you can expect from a softer sway bar, because there's more body roll, the tires will lean a bit more, the cars will lean a bit more. So this camber that we have, which is still default, so it's not a ton, this camber that we have will be more effective. And it will likely lead to more grip. So with the setup we have now, if we went from, for me, it was 6 to 0, my car is going to be very oversteery. Almost certainly. So that should be what you feel. If you don't, some cars act a little different. That's totally fine. But go ahead, turn your roll bar all the way to 0 in the front and do 3 or 4 laps just to see what it's like. And if you absolutely hate it and it's simply undrivable, don't try to force it. Just bring it back.
Alright, I guess I'll go from 1 to 0.
Yours is already pretty low. Cool. Oh, shoot. Oversteer. Right.
Remember, cold tires.
Cold tires and oversteer. Great combo.
A big difference.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. We're spinning immediately. Oh, gosh. Oh my gosh, it's so oversteery. This is ridiculous. The McLaren already wants me dead, but now wants me extra dead.
Well, I mean, so you're in the McLaren. You probably have your rear ride height up a lot, huh?
A lot.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yep. A bunch of rear ride height and
bar,
a low anti-roll bar. Yeah, it's gonna turn real good.
Wow.
That's another thing to keep in mind too, guys. Like if you're changing one thing, you might have to lower the other, or
Oh god.
raise the other thing.
Alright, yeah, I'm falling under that undrivable, so I'm just gonna go to pits. I know this is a bad idea. Yeah, Devin's absolutely right. Every change you make is a game of give and take in a car setup. While you might get more front end grip, you may now not have enough rear end grip. So now you got to do something to fix the problem you just made, fixing a different problem. So it's always changing. Like I said at the beginning, the general dynamics of the car ride on that front aero variation, but it may change depending on the rest of the setup. It might be a little more aggressive or a little less, depending on what it is you're trying to do with the car.
New.
If we can't watch some people. Kevin, your car still seems relatively stable.
Yeah. I was wondering the difference between oversteer from the anti-roll bar adjustment versus, hiking up your rear end.
Okay.
So
no, go ahead, Andrew.
they're both gonna feel pretty similar, but the oversteer from the rear end will be more like all-encompassing. Like you will oversteer going into a corner, you'll oversteer mid-corner, you'll oversteer out of a corner, whereas the front sway bar will mostly do it when your front end really grip, like in times where your front end grips up. So like going into a corner, when you're slow enough to get grip coming out of a corner, like kind of right there, your front end is able to stay gripped up when your back end just loses it. So now you could fix the oversteer by lowering the rear end. That's one way to do it. But if you make a change and it screws something up in your car, just undo that change. Don't try to fix it somewhere else if you know what you just did screwed it up.
Couldn't tell you how many times I've done that.
Easy to do. Let's see. How we doing, Mike?
Pretty good, actually.
I was gonna say your car still almost seems like it's understeering a little bit.
It is a little bit.
Most 296 setups put it at 0.
And also raising the rear ride height will give you more oversteer on the throttle.
I haven't changed anything else besides
This
the
way?
front ride height
Oh, okay.
and the anti-roll bar. Like it's still on the safe setup aside from that.
Oh, okay. Well, you're probably gonna want to lift up your rear a little bit, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish up whatever lap you're on, guys. You should have a decent idea of what's wrong with the car, if anything, at this point. And then bring it back. Let's see what Sean's doing. Oh, and it seems like understeer going in, over coming out.
Yep.
Okay.
And just hold on if you hit the gas.
Yep. So Kevin, it almost looked like, so coming out of that last corner, would you say the car was oversteering more when you were slow or after you had gained speed?
And into the slower corners, I think give me more oversteer.
Okay.
I like the faster corners with this oversteer, but going from fast to slow on the tight corners, I tended to oversteer more.
Yep. So that's another way to really gauge whether or not this is something you need to fix with ride height or something you fix with mechanical grip. The slower you are, if you're noticing more of a difference slow, that falls under mechanical grip. And you need to fix something in this page, whether it's anti-roll bars, wheel rates, which we'll get into here, bump stops, all that stuff. If you're noticing that you're losing it on high speed corners, that means you probably need a little bit more aero, and getting the back end up or down will help with that. And that's an aero thing. So
I noticed I was able to roll off the trail brake sooner in the corner too with this looser roll bar.
mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Okay. So it's definitely good in some places, but not great in others. So again, that's always part of the game. We're figuring out what can we do to make one thing better, and then without fail, it's going to screw something else up, or you're going to go too far. So this, as a quick aside, in the way that Kevin's car was driving, it was pretty good going into corners. Low speed, it was a little oversteery, and then high speed, it was pretty good. So that means that mechanically, the front end has too much grip, more grip than the back does. So slow speed is very mechanical, not very aero based. So now we're going to jump to the rear sway bar, and we're going to try to see if we can't fix whatever it is we just did to the front. Leave the anti-roll bar where it is. We're going to leave that alone, and we're going to go to the back and try to fix whatever it was to kind of get an idea of how these two roll bars can work together or against each other. So same with the front, excuse me. The rear anti-roll bar, generally, the lower it is, the more grip there is. The higher it is, the less grip there is. And remember, this is a mechanical change, so you're going to feel this most lower speed corners, medium to low speed corners. So go ahead and take your rear sway bar and drop it to 0. See if it balances out the car at all. And give her a couple laps.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey.
RC.
These are not RC cars. This is a sim rig.
Oh right, I didn't put my brake pads back up. Whoop! He's grippy in the front still.
All right, Andrew. Yay. She's grippy at slow speeds, but slidey as hell whenever you touch the gas at slow speeds.
Oh, we're so grippy. Oop, screwed that one up. Oh, this car just doesn't want to go straight. That was cute. You guys both went wide together.
Whoa.
Alrighty, well, whatever lap we're on, guys, we'll go ahead and finish up and bring it back to the pits. Should have a general idea of what the car is doing.
Yeah, 00 doesn't work for my car.
It doesn't work for most any car.
Nope.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's workable. Pretty sketchy.
Just
All right.
barely touched the grass. And
What's that?
bam. Gone. I barely touched the grass and I spun out.
This is why we don't touch grass, Mike. Dangerous game.
That's Ferrari's. That's a Ferrari doing Ferrari things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
just don't
Okay,
touch
good.
grass.
Okay. So,
So not only a skill issue, but
yeah. Enzo doesn't like grass. You don't like grass. It's a whole thing.
okay, good.
So, did anyone's car feel better?
No.
at all. Nothing when proved. Nothing. Everything was worse.
Yeah.
Well, I could punch it out of the
Yeah.
corner sooner.
So we fixed a little bit of oversteer for some of us.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the same way that we can increase turn in and subsequently oversteer by changing one sway bar or another, you can do the same thing with one sway bar or another. So if you make a change to the front sway bar, and again, we'll go with Kevin's example, and it's doing really good going into a corner, but just can't hack it going out. Just undo it a little bit. Try to get as much out of that front sway bar as you can without screwing up the rest of the car. And then, so for example, in Kevin's case, 0-0, decent grip coming out of corners, little understeering, however. So what you can do is you can then reduce or back off from whatever change you made to the rear. So instead of being 0, maybe you do like 2. And that will more or less decrease the grip you get in the back at a slow speed, and it should help your front end get more grip. Same as how aero, it's always a trade-off. You mess with the back, it changes the front. You change the front and mess with the back. It's all connected. So with the anti-roll bar, so like my car felt horribly unstable going into corners. The back end had decent grip, but it was just losing it all the time. So I'm actually going to drop. I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to get more grip by increasing the wing and then increasing the ride height again to bring that front arrow variation where I want it. And another aspect of sway bars is general stability of a car. It's mostly grip when it comes to what is changing when you're adjusting a sway bar. But if you find that the front or back of your car, like my car on small wheel changes, would just, it was all over the place, especially in the front. The front would just grip up out of nowhere, and the back end would be all over the place. So even at the highest grip setting I could get in the back, the front was still too much. So I can decrease the grip, increase stability of the front of the vehicle by bringing this front sway bar back up to like 4 or something. And you just keep trying it over and over and over again until you figure out what sway bar setting works for you, basically. I know for a fact in the McLaren that a very high front sway bar for a very stable front end of the car and a low rear, because the back end always wants to get loose, is a good setup. It might seem like, oh, well, there's not that much grip in the front. Well, we're going for stability in the front with the sway bar. And we can get more grip by changing front arrow variation or a couple other things. So go ahead, adjust your sway bars. Again, we're trying to go for as much grip as possible by not being unstable. If you think that your front end needs less or more grip, make an adjustment. If your back end needs less or more grip, make an adjustment. So go ahead, fix your sway bars. I'm going to go back up to 5 in the front. I'm going to leave the back at 0, and I'm going to see if that helps my car at all.
I have my rear TC is on and my front, my rear is in 5. Should I turn that off?
TC2, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, turn TC2 off.
Yeah, you don't need it.
I mean, I put the safe setup, so I just left everything.
Yeah.
Step by step here.
Yep.
If anything, use it in rain setups.
Okay.
It's mainly for cutting power on throttle
All right.
How's it going there, Sean?
to a certain point.
Will that make a difference in my arrow variation? Or as
Nope.
far as-
The only thing that changes that is ride height. Once you get to a variation you like, you really don't want to change it much. Just kinda leave it alone.
From the beginning and looking at it every time. So.
Yep. I keep forgetting to do that.
What turn?
Brake bias. I had it all the way back. I don't want it back there.
Oh.
The easiest way to deal with the Ferrari, make believe it's a skateboard. It likes to be stiff and off the grass.
Oh boy. Alright, I forgot all my keybinds aren't working anymore. Love that. Oh, I know what's wrong.
Mine doesn't feel as loose.
That's good. My car feels way more stable, but now it's understeering a lot, so we'll talk about that when we get back to the pits.
I did change a couple more things in
Yeah.
told us to, but
Steering ratio for the Ferrari.
I run mine all the way to the left.
yeah, and on all the mic that I drive, every time I drive a different car, I just run the ratio all the way down.
Alright, go ahead and finish whatever lap you're on, guys. We'll bring it back in.
Dang it, Schmidt! I have not beaten your time yet.
Damn it. Yeah. I had a whole second and I messed it up on the last turn.
Well, you're all doing better than me, so still don't know why you all trust me to tell you anything. Fast
Those that
sons of
can do,
guns.
those that can't teach.
Damn right. I can't do nothing. All right. So, we adjusted, readjusted one of the roll bars, whichever one was giving you the most problems. Did anyone's car feel worse after making that change?
No.
Everyone's car felt
Mine
a
did not.
little bit better, at least.
No, mine felt a lot better.
Yours felt, well, good. Sweet. That's what we're here for. So, as I was saying, there's some cars who have stability problems. If you find that you make an adjustment to an anti-roll bar and your car just feels kind of loose and you really can't control it and you don't really know when it's going to break free in the front or the back, chances are it's a stability problem. And you need to give the car some stability by increasing the anti-roll bar or decreasing it, either one. Because, like I was saying, the McLaren is an inherently unstable car, especially in the front end. So more often than not, the front roll bar is very stiff, so it's not providing a grip advantage, it's providing a stability advantage. And we got to find the grip somewhere else, either Aero or Camber or whatever else. So just keep tweaking anti-roll bars, trying to get as much grip as you can. Similar to Aero, your car should feel pretty neutral in a perfect world. Maybe a little bit oversteery, because you can control that a lot better than understeer, and you can work with that. So, questions on anti-roll bars, how they do, what they work. Good talk. All right, moving on to the next thing. We're going to take a step away from mechanical grip, and we're going to go over to tires. Because one thing that if you're working with the anti-roll bars and you're just like, I can't get it right, I can't sort it out, what's going on, you have to know that, remember, anti-roll bars will directly affect how much your tires are rolling in a corner. So if you have a loose sway bar, front or rear, your car will need more camber on that axle, whether it's front or back, to be able to handle the increased body roll. Because if you don't, the tire will lean too much and the inside of the tire will actually start to lift off the ground, which is really bad. So, like, is anybody's car oversteering pretty good still? No one?
Yeah, not too bad.
Anyone finding understeer in their cars? Mid-corner.
I had rear understeer,
You had,
but
hold
that's
on.
the Porsche.
You had rear understeer?
Yeah, my rear would just slide out.
Oh, yeah. So that's still oversteer, but okay. So your back end was getting loose, so just go ahead, if you haven't already, drop your rear camber all the way down. If it's not already. Already is? Alrighty, well, disregard. Yeah. But as I mentioned, camber is basically the lean angle of the tires, as it's, from the top to the bottom. Whether the top is pointed in towards the center of the car or the out to the outside of the car. That's all it controls. The more your car rolls, the more camber you're going to want to have. Generally, cars are going to roll a ton all the time because we're going at these corners like 100-something miles an hour. It just happens. More camber usually means more grip. So if you find that you're making changes to anti-roll bars, you can't get it right, and you're like, it's right in between 5 and 6. Like 5, I'm understeering. 6, I'm oversteering. That's just as an example. need to find just a little bit more grip somewhere, camber should be the next thing you look at. Now, most people, some people, I don't know, some amount of people will just pin this at 0, call it a day, and never look back. That's fine. Generally,
I would
that will
I'll
give
always
you,
recommend this. I would start from all the way down and then go up if you need to.
yeah, so
As you test it
generally,
out.
this will be fine. The only thing that I need to caution you guys, if you start here, or excuse me, if you start with a default safe, you're going to be at like 3.2. And if this is not the first thing you change, your braking is going to be far better with less camber. You can't hold as much speed into a corner, but you can brake a lot better because there's more tire touching the ground. Straight line, braking ahead without turning in yet. So if you go all the way down shortly after you've started making adjustments, you will notice, if you don't change your braking at all, which you should because you're going to trail brake more, if you don't change your braking at all, you will have to brake earlier. That's just how it works. Like, that's why I never have it all the way down, because I feel like 2 clicks off the bottom, I get some good braking. It's a good balance between the two. Like Devin said, if you go all the way down to 0, which is a fine place to start, that's going to be the most grip. So if you guys haven't already, take your camber, just go all the way down. And again, if you haven't made a change to your roll bars to make them a little better, tweak it just a touch, and go ahead and get out there with all the way negative camber.
Front and back.
Front and back, yep. The car should just be a bit more grippy all around.
Oh, it handles like a car.
Come on.
Am I free to join you guys?
Yeah, of course, get up in here. You know how?
Okay, what's the server name?
It's the NRU workshop setup. Workshop server.
And the password
I'm trying to
is
join.
capital NRU. And capital W. Workshop.
Okay, sorry, the stream was really loud. What was the password again?
NRU workshop. One word and capital NRU W.
There's that grass again.
Yeah, don't touch it. It's bad for your health.
I'm trying to alleviate my problem of being too far to the left or right, or not far enough to the left or right
Oh, yeah.
of the track.
Jeez. Still oversteering.
Rear wants to step out under acceleration at slow speeds.
That sounds like a mechanical issue. So
Increase anti-roll bar on back.
reduce it. Make it lower if you can.
Make it lower.
And if you can't make it lower, then make the front stiffer.
Okay, so which setup are you guys going off?
We
The
started with a
aggressive one or
default
the
safe.
Okay, so safe setup, right?
Yep, safe setup.
Yep.
And all you guys did was the camber and the anti-roll bars?
Today, yes, but we did a bunch with Arrow yesterday. Let me pull off into the pits here after this lap, and I'll walk you through some things we did.
I'm really sorry to be the late guy.
No, it's fine. It's all recorded, so you can go back and watch the old one.
Where can I find the recording?
I don't know where you posted it. Or if you
It's on
have
our
it.
Twitch. It's on our Twitch.
Oh, it's on Twitch.
Yeah, it will be on YouTube. I just gotta figure out how to do that.
Making sure we got this.
Whoa there, sir.
That's not the line. I was up a second too. All right. Are you watching the stream, Ziad?
Hold on a second.
In Discord, not.
In Discord.
Yep, I'm watching it right now. Yeah, right now
Okay.
I'm watching it.
How much experience do you have with setups?
So I know how to set up my tires for the right temperatures.
Okay.
Tow and camber, all I know about camber is that how tilting is the wheels. Like, are they tilting to the outside or to the inside?
Uh-huh.
And tow is the same thing, but is the wheels looking to each other or looking away from each other?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Caster, I have no idea what that is.
If you go to the arrow
yeah, I
page,
know
do you know what any of it is?
Yeah, of course. I know the rear and the right height, the rear wing, and the brake ducts. I know all of them.
Cool.
But I don't know how to set them up correctly.
Okay. Cool. Well, that's what we're here for. Go to your arrow page for me and tell me what your front arrow variation % is at the bottom.
Right now, it's at negative 0.5.
Are you driving?
I'm with the Ferrari. Just
Yeah, I was gonna
the
say you're in the
Ferrari.
Ferrari. Go ahead and.
You want me to go to the McLaren?
No. You drive. Do whatever your car you're gonna be driving. So, because it works for every car. So take your front ride height and lower it all the way down, and tell me what that percentage is after that.
1.6.
Cool. What's your rear wing at?
12, the maximum.
All right, leave it there. What's your ride height at?
Rear?
Rear ride height. Sorry.
Yeah, it's about 69 millimeters, which is it's around 3/4.
Okay. Go ahead and increase that 2 clicks and tell me what that percentage is again.
1.9.
Cool. So basically, I keep asking you about the front arrow variation because that's the most important number in the entire setup. This number tells you how the car is going to feel. The higher the number is, the more aggressive it's going to be. The lower it is, the more understeery it's going to be. So we'll change a couple more things. Your tire pressures are going to be wrong since you haven't popped out yet. Go ahead and set camber all the way down in all 4 sides.
Okay. I accidentally did it. Okay, so all
much
camber is
code.
down.
All right, and go to your electronics page. Turn TC2 off.
Definitely. I hate that thing.
Yep. Go to a traction control setting you're comfortable with, and ABS 2 or 3.
Okay, so about ABS, I always feel comfortable with ABS at 1. Anything more than that, I just feel like it lengthens my braking distance without any benefits.
Okay, yeah. Set it at 1 then, if it works for you.
Yeah, 1 is amazing for me. ECU map should be 1 too, I guess.
Just leave it alone. Never touch that ever.
Okay.
And then on your fuel and strategy, go to brakes 1.
Okay, that is a known fact.
Okay. And you know what the difference
Okay.
between brakes 1 and 2?
What I heard is that 1 is good for like 30-minute races or like less than 67-minute races, and 2 are like 90 minutes, and then like 3 is anything above 90 minutes. That's what I heard.
Okay, so you
I'm
heard
guessing the
sort
pads
of
are
right.
larger.
They're different compounds. So brakes 1, they're sprint pads. Anything like an hour and a half or less, you can use 1. They'll be a little worn out by the end of the hour and a half race, but they will make it. Brakes 2 are general pads. They will last about 12 hours. And then brakes 3 and 4 are prototype pads that you should never use.
Got it. Never
Yep.
use 3 and 4. 2
Never
for
use
long
3 and
races,
4.
1 for short
3
races.
3 is like a wet pad, I guess. It doesn't work. And 4 is
Yeah,
like
it's
the
not
most
needed.
the most hyper aggressive pad ever, and it will fail in like 10 minutes. It's not even good for quali. It's just it just dies. You have about a lap of good braking, and then it's gone. So for any race here, or like I said, any race under an hour and a half, do brakes 1. Anything longer than that, brakes 2.
Okay.
Alrighty, and then the last thing, do you know where you like to have your brake bias? Have you ever messed with brake bias?
Yeah, so usually for this car, I would say around 58 is where I feel comfortable.
Oh, way forward.
Uh,
Is that a Ferrari thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind
Okay.
of, yeah.
Alright,
definitely.
cool. Some cars like it way
For
back,
the
some cars
Porsche,
like it way front.
for the Porsche, for example, I was just testing it because I have a race in Monza. I found that I was really comfortable with 48.5, 49. Anything
Yeah.
less, I would just lose it on braking. Like I lose the rear end on braking, so it wasn't really that useful.
I am shocked the brake bias that far back didn't just spin you all the time in the Porsche, but whatever works.
It did. It,
Oh, it did, yeah.
yeah,
So,
all the time. Like
yeah.
49 was where I was able to control it somewhere, like somehow.
That's crazy. That's insane. All right. The last thing we were messing with was anti-roll bars, but go ahead and leave those alone. The rest of the car should be about where we're at. Oh.
You should see what my brake bias is.
64.
45.
Whoa.
You're insane. I don't know how you
How
Porsche
can you
people
turn this thing?
don't die with brake bias less than 60. I can't do it. All right,
It likes the
everyone.
rear.
I can't control it. I just rotate too much. Everybody, let's go ahead and bring it on in. Finish up your lap, whatever you're doing.
Okay, just a quick question about anti-roll bars. It's when you have it high, it helps the car to be a little more soft, and low is more stiff, right?
Other way around. Low is soft, high is stiff.
Okay.
What your
So
mom
more
said.
grip on low.
Wow, Kevin.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Yoda.
the camber adjustment really helped me.
Oh, there's 2 Kevins now. Damn it. Which one was that?
That was me, the OG.
The OG Kevin.
I missed the tail end of what the Camber does again. I didn't think
So-
the course would be today, and I saw you
That
guys
was
on
that
Thursday,
was
right?
my mistake. Sorry about that.
Okay. That's all right.
So camber is a function of grip in a corner, going into a corner, mid corner, coming out of a corner. The lower the camber number is, the more tilted in the tires are, and the more grip you will get in a corner.
Okay.
So that's, and then if you want less, like let's say you're oversteering a lot and your back camber is already as far down as it can go, so you can't give your back end more camber, you'll give your front end less camber somehow, or less grip by reducing the camber in the front, or making it stiffer by the anti-roll bar. But camber is just a function of more or less grip in a corner.
And it doesn't affect straight line speed?
Nope. No, it does not.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
It may wear out the inside of your tires a bit faster. if you're getting into an endurance
Mhm.
usage, you might have
Mhm.
to adjust camber to keep your tires from wearing unevenly. But for short stuff, it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, we all back in. Sweet.
Yes, Daddy.
Oh, thank you. All right, so did anyone's car feel shouldn't have been too much of a change? Sean said it drives like a car, but did anyone's car feel better or worse?
Mine felt better. I had grip into the corner, mid exit, and
Cool.
coming out of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I
again,
liked it better.
corner grip camber is the easiest way to really maximize the rest of your setup. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. If you want more grip in a corner, your camber is a great way to change that.
Now, the question I have: how do you determine if you should add more grip into a corner or not? I'm
So
assuming
it
there's
depends
some.
on. So there's three phases to a corner. Every corner, there's entry, mid, and exit. And then there's two things your car can be doing at any of those points. Well, I guess technically three, but the third one is very rare. You can be understeering or oversteering in any of those three areas, and you really got to pay attention to when the car is doing each of those. So, like, let's say you're understeering on corner entry, so your car is not gripping up enough going into a corner. That would
Okay.
mean now I have to get more grip at the beginning of a corner. And there's a bunch of ways to change that. That could be the aero deviation, because again, that just generally makes it more aggressive. It could be mechanical grip. It could be aero, which I don't recommend using the front splitter unless the car comes with a front splitter. Um, but if it's like a low speed corner, you may need to make the sway bar a little looser so you can get more of that tire on the ground, use that camber, get more front grip. Um, so you have to divide each corner into three parts, and then you have to figure out if your car is understeering or oversteering.
Okay.
And where. Is it on braking? Is it on throttle? Is it off throttle? Try to break it down as much as you can, and then you'll be able to know what you need to fix.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So, what we just do? Right, we messed with camber. Questions on camber? Cool. Moving on to the next thing that's going to more drastically affect your car. So we talked about the anti-roll bars. Those are great. The next thing we're going to talk about is wheel rates. And when it says wheel rate, it has nothing to do with the wheel. I don't know why it's called that. It's a spring rate is what it's called. It's not a wheel rate. So the spring rates are just how stiff the springs are. It is that simple. And similar to anti-roll bars, the softer they are, generally, the more grip you're going to get. So, in this example, where I have 182,000 newton meters and 209,000 newton meters front and back, respectively, if I wanted to give the front end more grip just using wheel rates, I would reduce the stiffness of the wheel rate in the front. Now, a common misconception with this, just kind of as an aside, you might think, because you're going to see the front of the car droop or come back up with wheel rates. You are not changing the ride height. The springs are just softer, so they are compressing more, and it looks like the car is sitting lower down. It's not actually. The ride height is exactly the same. Now the springs are just compressing a little bit more. So you're not going to change your front aero variation with this, or at least you shouldn't. So if we go back to 180, whatever we were at, we're at 10.3, and then I drop it back down. The front end is lower now. It's exactly the same. So it does not affect the actual ride height. You don't have to change this if you're changing this. Does that make sense?
Okay. The rear rate is actually spring rate.
Uh-huh.
They lower the number, the softer or stiffer the spring.
The softer the
That's
spring.
where softer, and that gives you more grip.
Yep. Usually.
Okay.
Now, you might get to a point where it's so squishy that the car just kind of bottoms out and it can't get any grip. That's a different thing. We'll get into that a little later. But that's the only time where it gets to be less grippy because of wheel rates. Any other questions with wheel rates? How they work or what they do?
No,
Question about the front air variation.
Brown, did you have a question about this again? Well,
yes. This is going to be silly, but I know nothing about automobiles, so be patient on this. The rear rate in the front and the rear can be totally different without, throwing the car off, per se.
I mean, similar to pretty much any other change, if you make a very drastic change in the front, chances are it's going to have an undue consequence in the back. So,
Okay.
if you were to drop wheel rates all the way down to basically nothing, your front end will get a bunch more grip and the car is going to be super oversteery. So it's going to
Okay.
act like the back end just has no grip at all. So
Okay.
they aren't completely independent of each other. Pretty much every change you make will have some effect on the other side of the car. But
Okay.
it primarily is increasing. The primary effect is increased grip in the front. The secondary effect is less stability in the back, basically, because your tires can only handle so much. And if you're giving more grip to the front and you're not increasing it in the back, your back's just gonna go get loose. So.
Okay.
Yep. And then Ziad, you had a question about aero variation again.
Yeah, so what, like, you said this is gonna tell me whether the car is, like, giving me a good grip or not. How do I know that? Like, is it when it's 1.9%? What does that mean?
So it really doesn't mean, like, to me, that means nothing because I'm not driving your car. Because I can't even get my percentage to that level. The only way you can find out what the percentage means to you is to drive the car with that percentage. If you go out and the car is just uncontrollable because of how happy the back end is, and you're just getting oversteer into corners, mid corner, out of corners, that means that your front aero variation is too high. Means you've given the front of your car too much grip. You need to bring it back so you can give the back more grip, which would mean lowering this percentage. So I can't tell you what the right percentage is for you. You have to figure that out on your own. Like, I know the McLaren likes to be between 9.8 and 10.5 just from doing it. But for the Ferrari, I have no clue what those numbers are. But that's why you set it to something. Be like, oh, the car's understeering a lot. Okay, make this number bigger. Okay, now the car is pretty well balanced, but I want to see if I can get a little bit more out of it. You make this number bigger, now the back end's all over the place. Nope, I went too far. I need to reduce this, get the car more dynamically neutral, and then try. So it really is just trial and error with the percentage. Just know that the higher the number is, the more aggressive the car is going to feel. The lower the number is, the more understeer the car is going to get.
Got it.
Yep. So, what were we
Which
talking
point do
about?
I decide? Okay, sorry.
No, go ahead. What was your question?
Yeah, so at which point do I know whether I should change the ride height or go to any other thing like the wheel rate, or like the anterior polish?
Yes, so if you find that there's a problem in a low speed corner, chances are it's a mechanical issue, and you can fix it mechanically in this page. If it's a high speed problem, it's going to be more aero based. Aero
Okay.
and mechanical have big effects on the car all over, but mechanical does not have near as much of an effect in high speed stuff. So if you're in a high speed corner or you're coming out of a corner, a high speed, like the last corner here, and the back end's getting loose, chances are it's an aero problem, not a mechanical problem. So, and realistically, you just kind of have to try both. Try messing with aero first. If that doesn't do it, go back to where you were and try it with mechanical. Setups are very much trial and error until you really start to understand what everything does. So, but with that said, guys, if you want to go ahead and increase your front wheel rates all the way up, please. and just
Oh,
see
all the way up.
up. Now, I don't want to give you more grip. I want to give you less grip. All the way up.
Okay. All the way up.
And give her a couple laps. That's not the line.
Whoa.
So if I'm losing the car braking into every corner, what does that mean?
Like the back end's coming out.
Yeah, every time, every corner.
So the
Like
car.
releasing the brake on turn in.
Mostly on turn in, yeah.
I would move your
Just
brake
before the-
bias forward.
Yeah.
Brake bias is the main controller for rotation into corners. Whoa, that's not it. That's not it. There we go. And if the brake bias doesn't fix it, that means that that front arrow variation that we talked about is probably too high. And you need to turn it down.
So yeah. Just don't know the line for this track. That might be the problem.
Oh, Andrew, you just disappeared on me.
Oh, I did?
Oh, it must be my Mine's orange.
Am I back?
No, you're fine. You're back. Yeah. It's my connection.
Oh,
Something's
okay.
going on.
Oh, Devin, you are bouncing.
I'm gonna leave the server and come back.
All right. Overlap you're on if you want to go ahead and finish it. We'll come back. We'll go over one more thing, and then we'll call it for the evening.
I did not like that at all.
Now what happened?
It's like I couldn't get the power down and the wheels to get the car going through the corners. It's like it just kept sliding.
Yeah, it was understeering.
Yeah, the whole car just slide.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
front and rear.
Yeah. No, you can throw it off by making. I mean, we just made. I don't know what your car. What car are you driving?
The BMW.
Yeah, you made the front really stiff, and that's where all the weight is. So yeah, it's gonna just kind of slide around now.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and undo whatever it is we just did. I don't know where you started at.
I think it was
It was the wheel rate.
right. Rear weight.
Or just go all the way to the bottom and go up 2 clicks.
2 clicks.
Yeah, wheel rate all the way to the left and then up 2 clicks. That should be about where you started.
Oh, I have the previous one saved. What it was. Let me
Oh,
see
you could
what
just
it was.
yeah, you could load that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, reload it.
Huh. Those were pretty high too. So I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom and 2 clicks.
Maybe do 3 if they were pretty high. All the way to the bottom and 3. Just for the fronts, that should help quite a bit.
Okay. Plus, I'm sure I missed some things that you guys changed.
We the
Really?
only thing you missed was messing with the anti-roll bars.
Oh, okay. I definitely know about those.
Yep.
In fact, I had to redo all my setups from your first time I took this.
Yeah.
I thought what I was doing was correct and it was the opposite.
Yeah. That'll get you. That'll get you. I know we got a lot of guys out right now, but we'll be moving on to the next thing here. Only got about 20 minutes in
that's
the
much
session.
better.
Should be.
Put mine
Yeah.
back.
Yep. Yeah, what I made you do was absolutely the wrong thing to do. But now you know it's the wrong thing to do.
Excuse me. That definitely worked for the front end. I left the rear end high, and it was sliding, which means I need to lower the spring rate to get more grip.
So again, there's a bunch of ways to get more grip.
Okay.
There's the ride height, there's roll bar, there's wheel rates, there's camber.
Now,
So
okay, let's say I have a setup for a race. I'm driving it. I want a little more grip. Should I do that with the aero first? What's your process? Do the thing that you get the most bang for the buck that doesn't throw off the handling characteristics for the car for doing other things, or how do you approach that?
so if it's if it's not your setup kind of thing, or if you're just starting from scratch.
It's my setup, like the LFM setups I'm using for
Okay.
racing.
So yeah, the first thing I do is I go to the arrow page and I see if that percentage is around where I know I can drive the car. If
Okay.
it's a percentage higher than what you're used to, then it's going to be way more aggressive than what you're used to. So you don't
Okay.
have to change it right then and there, but just know going in, it's going to be pretty aggressive to compared to what you're used to. So I usually try to get the percentage set first because that's the most all-encompassing thing I can do to the car. If I just change camber or if I just change a wheel rate or something that's much more localized, than the whole aero variation, because that is again the general dynamic of how the car is going to feel, no matter what you
Okay.
do to the rest of the setup. It
Okay.
always bases it off of that percentage.
Okay.
So
Well, from the course last week, that helped me out because I found for the BMW, for me, the way I'm driving at this moment, 2.9 works really well. So at Zolder, the setup was a 2.1, and I had problems, so I changed it to 2.9, and that fit me pretty well.
yeah, so that's
So
the first thing I
use
do
okay.
is I'll set arrow, and then I will. Well, the thing I change next is usually bump stop range, but that's getting a bit more advanced. Very car specific as well. So.
Okay.
But anyways, guys, I know we got a couple out on the track. If we could please return, I'll cover the last couple things. Um, then we'll finish up for the night. Preload differential as well is another thing I changed, which is actually what we're just about to start talking about. So. All right. Back. Lovely. Okay, guys. So, wheel rates, similar to anti-roll bars. They do a little bit of a different job than anti-roll bars. Anti-roll bars are only engaged when you're turning, so it's very much a lateral grip changing. Whereas wheel rates can also affect things like how much your nose drops as you're hitting the brakes, how much weight transfers to the front as you're hitting the brakes, and then also left to right. So if you're just trying to figure out something mid corner, wheel rate is probably not the thing for you because that's going to be anti-roll bar or camber because those are strictly mid corner adjustments. Whereas wheel rate is a bit more than just that. Like if you find that the nose is, in weight shifts into cars is pretty advanced, but if you find that if you like tap the brakes really quick mid corner and the back end just goes nuts, chances are the braking bias is maybe a bit too far forward. The car might be a little unstable, or it's too soft. And when you touch those brakes or you lift off the gas, the front end gets to droop. You get way more grip on the front, and then the back end just falls apart because you're a little soft in the front. You can fix that by changing wheel rate. Back, it's pretty much the same thing, just in the rear of the car. If you're finding that you want more grip in the back, generally you can just reduce the spring rate back here. However, same as in the front, you're going to experience some understeer because now you're letting all that weight shift to the back under acceleration. The weight's coming off the front tires. You may have to either reduce it or change something else to get more grip wherever it is you're trying to get. So if it's high speed, an example could be, I want more grip in the back of the car. I'm going to reduce the wheel rate, right? Which is great. I have more grip in the back of the car. However, now I'm understeering coming out of corners. Well, coming out of a corner, usually you're accelerating. The body is leaning more and more to the side as you get more lateral G's. So maybe to fix that, I will lower the front sway bar to counteract what I just did to the back of the car. It's always kind of a give and take. Once you go too far with one, you have to fix it somewhere else. You change the back, you got to adjust the front. Always.
Okay. The anti-roll bar, the higher the number, the stiffer it is, right?
Yep, the lower the softer.
Oh,
So the
okay.
softer it is, that's an increase in grip overall, generally. So. We're not going to mess with wheel rates anymore, though. So the last thing I'm going to have you guys do is we're going to mess with Preload Differential, which is largely a tool used for controlling the rear end coming out of a corner. Similar to how braking bias is only when you're going into a corner and under braking, Preload Differential, while it has a minimal effect going into a corner, it has a massive effect coming out of a corner. Basically, what Preload Differential does is this is what controls whether you're going to have one tire getting all the power or both tires spinning coming out of a corner. Of course, both tires spinning is great if you want to get absolutely massive speed out of a corner. Both tires are locked up and they're just giving all the power to both tires, which is great if you want to get out of a corner quickly. However, because they're basically locked together on that axis, they will spin faster. So what we're going to do to give you an example of that is we're going to turn the preload differential all the way up. What that's going to do is that's basically going to lock the back tires together so that no power can transfer between the outside or inside tire, giving it power. This is going to mean your tires are going to lock up sooner or lock together sooner, and they are going to spin sooner. This will likely lead to an increase in oversteer. So just go ahead and give it a shot.
And it does help with tire spinning. Like
Yes.
Pretty much stationary tire spinning.
Yes.
Like you're not really moving anywhere, but.
Yeah. You're supposed to be a BMW, not a merry-go-round.
guess now I know how to make donuts to the Ferrari.
Yeah.
I could definitely feel the difference, but it's not too bad.
No, it's not like a major difference because the tires, they're not locked together. They are just, there's a lot more force required to break them apart. Get that power to go to the outside wheel versus just spinning both tires. Another effect you might feel with a stiff preload is it'll kind of feel like the car, the back tires are almost pulling the car to the inside of the corner. Because you are dragging that inside tire just a little bit.
Like that turn it. Don't like it out.
Yeah, the BMW does not like that.
Is it oversteering a bunch?
Oh, well, it goes to 300, and if I put the power down, it's just like...
Yep.
Turn your TC up 1 to compensate it a little bit better.
Well, don't try to make up for your car's faults with TC and ABS. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So with the preload, the lower the number, the more decoupled the tires are, right?
Yep. That is exactly right.
We meet again, Ranger.
We meet again.
Oh, speed.
Not the apex, sir.
What's that?
I said that's not the apex.
Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, still coming out. Okay.
I found the apex.
You found it or it found you?
It's a little bit of both.
It
It was a team effort, is what that was. That was a team
that's
effort.
hey, Andrew.
Found the gravel.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know. As you know, I took this last season.
Yeah.
And learning that information and tweaking my car and undoing all that mess really allowed me to put better lap times down.
Awesome. That's great to hear. That's what we do this for. I don't expect anyone to do what I do and take a new car, load up default safe, and build from nothing. That's a horrible way to do it. I just like doing it that way. But if you have LFM setups and you can you can tweak them, LFM setups are not built for everyone. They are horrible depending on who you are and what your driving style is. If you can tweak an LFM setup to you, you'll always be faster than just going with the objectively good setup. So no, that's what this is about, man. If you can learn how to tweak it, then that's great. Also, frickin' Jason over here just putting down
I know,
crazy lap times. What is this?
I mean, same as Schmidt.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to beat his time yet.
Yeah. I don't know what you guys are doing here, but like, y'all are both 3 seconds faster than I am. So you can just go. It doesn't you don't even need a setup, apparently. You're doing this on certifiable garbage of a setup as it stands. Alrighty, guys. That was the last thing I wanted to cover. We feel free, if you want to try it, go to preload differential all the way down to nothing. That will decouple the back tires the most and will provide the most stable exit out of a corner. However, you will be a little less stable going into a corner because now your tires are separated from each other. They're not keeping the back end in check. So, but that is all I have for today. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you showing up, even though I screwed up the event. It was supposed to be a couple hours ago, but I screwed up the event timing, so I had to leave enough time for everyone to get the memo. So next week, who's helping? What?
It helped me.
Awesome. That's great to hear. That's
I would have missed it otherwise.
yeah. So yeah, I didn't want people missing it. So and this is gonna be recorded. I gotta edit it, so it might not be for a couple days, but I'll post links when I get them. And the first one, it was just streamed, so it'll just be live. It'll be long. There'll be a lot of gaps. You can just skip between parts. If my setup page is not up, chances are I'm not saying anything or answering questions. So yeah, of course, Jason, happy it helped. We're gonna keep on keeping on. Next time we'll be diving more into the mechanical page and the tires page as well, really, to finish it off, and then we'll briefly get into dampers. But yeah, more mechanical and tires next time. So any final questions before we go?
No. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
appreciate it. Thank you.
And if you do at any point have a question, feel free to reach out, post it up somewhere. I'm horrible at checking in like the Noobs Academy, but if you shoot me a DM like, hey, I'm trying to figure this out on my setup, I'll be happy to answer it. So you guys have a good rest of your night. Oh, I don't want to do that. And
I have one question.
yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Every car we drive, do we do this for every track?
Yes.
Or is it
Yep.
generally? Okay.
There's
if you get the baseline,
they're
you get
about
a baseline,
90. Yeah, they're about 90% the same, and then you have to tweak it from there. It's not, you don't have to go ground up from all this. So if you make a setup that just feels really good one time, take that to the next track and just tweak it. Don't start from scratch.
Right on.
So, yep. Alrighty. Well,
or you could do what I do, get a subscription and get the setups from there and use that and tweak it to your standards.
That works
Yeah,
too.
I got a whole bunch of those, and I'll probably do that. But I wanted to learn. I wanted to know what to do first and all that, like in order of how to do it. So
Exactly, same for me.
yeah.
I mean, on one of the last, I'm gonna stop recording really quick.